Okay, we're live now. So, question 1. In the U.S., the patent pharmaceutical companies receive for each new drug they develop is 17 years, right?
Yep.
Yep.
That's the one I told you that I was looking for the answer because I remember reading it. And I put 7 years, and then I found it was 17, like right after.
How irritating. Drives me nuts. Question 2. Which one of the following statements is true concerning price controls on drugs? They increase the innovation rate for new drugs. They make existing drugs more affordable. They help market reach equilibrium. They improve market efficiency.
So like price controls?
Yeah. Wouldn't they make existing drugs more affordable? Let me look that up though.
I would think it's either B or C.
What's B or C for you?
Oh, they make existing drugs more affordable, or they help market reach equilibrium.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, drug price controls the undercut effects of patents. They keep innovative firms from charging monopoly prices and limit the incentive to research new drugs.
So they limit the research being done?
Limit the incentive to research new drugs.
Makes sense.
So
it's definitely not they increase the innovation rate for new drugs.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think they make the market efficient either.
No.
And they don't.
No.
They don't help market reach equilibrium.
No, I think it's to make existing drugs more affordable.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
Question 3. The FDA decides whether to approve a drug for use in the United States or not. It bases its decision mostly on if the drug is safe and effective, if the drug is affordable to consumers, if the drug has been tested on mice, if the drug company is American or not.
If the drug is safe and effective.
Yeah, I think so too. Which of the following is an example of a type 1 error? An effective drug is not approved to enter the U.S. market. An effective drug is approved to enter the U.S. market. An ineffective,
that one.
The effective drug? Yeah,
it's approved. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, which one?
An effective drug is approved to enter the U.S. market.
An ineffective?
Effective. I get them mixed up though. I did that in.
So.
No, it's an ineffective.
Ineffective?
It's an ineffective drug is approved.
A type 1 error occurs when a bad drug gets approved for sale.
Oh, okay.
So an ineffective drug. Sorry, yeah.
False
So an ineffective drug is approved to enter the U.S. market.
Yes. Question 5. Which of the following is not correct concerning the price index of healthcare? Yeah. Oh, did
I had this one on the quiz, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, and I got it wrong. Great.
Actually, I don't have it on the quiz. I just remember reading about
I didn't have it on the quiz either, so I'm not sure.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, well, it's not. It indicates that inflation in healthcare is generally higher than overall inflation. So let me look it up because I can't remember.
Do you guys remember what page that was on?
I can't. Let me look though.
Mama? 359 is what page it starts.
359.
259.
Oh, 259. Thank you. We did read a lot this week, but
Okay.
oh.
So I think it considers new innovations because it says in here the simple, however you say that last price, I don't know how you say it, but price index also fails to account for the advent of completely new medical technologies due to continual medical care innovation. So it says which of the following is not correct, and so it considers new innovations wouldn't be correct.
Okay.
Oh, which of the following is not correct?
Because it says it fails to account for those things.
Okay, so yeah, that would be.
Okay, so that one's right. So it indicates that inflation of healthcare is generally higher than overall inflation. That's correct.
It takes quality changes into effect, right? And it typically overestimates inflation.
I didn't see anything about inflation.
Yeah, I think it does not take quality changes into account. Wait. No, it's
New innovations.
well, that one's correct, right, Isaac?
What?
It considers new innovations. That's a correct answer, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Did it mention quality changes?
It did mention something about that.
So then
So
when
it does.
Oh, go ahead.
It does kind of say something here like that the price index becomes a bad approximation when the goods that are included in the original bundle change subtly from year to year. So like a blood transfusion.
I was just reading that part.
So I mean, it doesn't take into effect the quality changes.
Okay.
But it also doesn't consider new innovations. So I'm not sure which one of those it is.
Yeah, but when it says bad approximation, wouldn't that mean that because it doesn't take quality changes into account? I can try it. This is a tricky question.
Yeah.
Because it would be correct because it doesn't take quality changes because it says it's a bad when the
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like it doesn't take quality changes into effect because it becomes a
it's
bad
saying
approximation.
it's a bad approximation, right? So that wouldn't. So I think it considers new innovations would be the correct answer. Number 5.
Yeah, I think so because the question says it does not take quality changes, which is the correct answer.
Right.
And the question is asking which is not correct.
Right.
So I think it considers new innovations is correct.
Okay. So let's see.
Okay. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, number 6. If a cure becomes available for a disease, then the price for curing it. Oh, I got this one wrong too, I think.
I didn't have this one.
I've got it. I think I had it. I got it wrong too. But I think it. What did you put down for your answer?
Well, so I thought that the price would increase because patients need to spend more money for it. That's what I put, and that's wrong. So I don't know what I did wrong there.
And I put I put it's difficult to determine without additional information because, like for me, like I guess the simple answer for me now looking at it would be if you have insurance, it remains the same. But at the same time, it depends on what type of insurance you have and like drug coverage, the pharmaceutical coverage. So I don't know, but I think for me, I know that my answer was wrong and yours, so it narrows it down to the 2.
So wait, which 2 are we looking at?
So we're looking at decreases because it was previously effectively infinite or remains the same if patients have insurance. So out of the 2, I would say it would be remains the same if patients have insurance.
Yeah.
Where was this?
I would kind of think though, like in a way it would make sense. It would decrease because like, I mean, for example, there's diseases that used to run rampant and like kill people like all the time that now it can cure with like a $20 shot. Like, I don't know. I feel like because like the disease is like uncurable to a point that like it would be really expensive because even though you're taking medicine constantly, it's not curing it.
But you're still spending a lot of money to treat it.
To try to treat it and live longer. Whereas once they find the cure, it's like take this and it'll be cured. And so I feel like you have to take less drugs and in a way it'd be cheaper over time.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Just because I do think you're right, Emily, when you said like some insurances are different.
Right.
So just because you have insurance doesn't mean you're going to pay the same.
I mean, for example, if your insurance doesn't really cover like a surgery, if the disease requires a surgery, then it's not going to remain the same. It's going to be a lot more expensive.
Okay.
So then it's out of the 2 because I know mine was wrong and the one that you put was wrong because I thought initially, so I would say decreases.
That's what I would say.
I agree with that.
We got a 50% chance of it being right.
At this point, I need every point right. I don't know what I got on the exam and it's killing me. So.
Oh, I know. And what bugs me is that it's multiple choice. So like it was graded right off the bat. Like the computer did it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Which was the weirdest way. I've never taken one through Proctorio, so it was interesting. But
I forgot to show my paper at the end, my scratch paper. And now I'm wondering what that means.
I did too. Well, and I kind of just I put it at the front. I just kind of flipped it at the front at the beginning of the test, and I couldn't remember. I'm like, oh, I got to show this. And so I like just flipped it up and showed it. So I don't know.
Ugh, I forgot.
I've never used that thing before, so I showed everything I was using.
Oh, good. Yeah, I did that at the beginning. I just forgot at the end. It said, like, show your work at the end, and I didn't do that. So
I didn't use any scratch paper. I just used a note card, and then if I had any work to do, I did it on Excel.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did too.
Well, that's good. I think they can see your Excel.
Yeah, I think they could see all your screens you're switching to.
Yeah. Okay. Question 7. The Dartmouth Atlas Research Project finds that healthcare spending in America in the early 2000s. I had this one too.
I did too.
I'd be really mad if I got it wrong. Oh, I got it right. Was widely varied among different regions.
That's what I had too.
That's what I had.
Okay. Question 8. It costs more in Boston for a hip replacement than in Boise. We can conclude that
I had this question, but I think I might have gotten it wrong actually.
I don't think I had this question. Let's see.
Oh no, wait, I got it right.
Oh, I got it right too.
Yeah, so I
didn't have that question.
I had so Boston may be lower health production function and therefore may pay more to reach the same level of health as Boise.
Right. Question 9. Which one of the following is not a reason for the rising total health expenditures in the U.S.? I think it's rapid increase in the income level of Americans.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't have it on the quiz. Did either of you?
Oh, why does it keep doing this to me? It keeps like kicking me out of the quiz, and I have to like go back into it. I love iLearn.
Do you guys have any of your other classes on? What's the other one that I have that they're
Canvas?
Canvas, yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 classes on Canvas.
I haven't had.
I have one.
I like Canvas way more than the old iLearn. I think it functions better.
Oh.
And like if you like go away from you, like iLearn will kick you out if you're like away from it for like 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, see Canvas will like I've like gone back, I've like shut my computer off and then gotten back on like 2 hours later and still logged in.
Wow.
Nice.
That would be nice.
Whereas this quiz has kicked me out twice in the last however long we've been on.
Okay.
All right.
Are we still on 9?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's a rapid increase in the income level of Americans.
That's what I would think too.
I would think so.
Okay. Number 10, discuss a case study in your textbook, either Hodgkin's lymphoma and peptic ulcers or heart attack survival. Do you guys have a preference?
Well, I flipped to the Hodgkin's lymphoma first.
All right, let's do that. Let's see.
I didn't read this very carefully the first time.
No, I'm just skimming through it again.
Okay. Oops. Sorry.
So like it looks like here, like they're kind of trying to like explain how like demand with cures can change over time. Because like even though it seems like for example the Hodgkin's lymphoma, like it seems like the cure has become more expensive over time. It was because when it was like first kind of invented, it was so expensive that the demand for it was almost zero.
Right.
Like people just couldn't afford it, and it wasn't very practical because, like I said on here, like 15% of people in 1950 survived Hodgkin's lymphoma, whereas today, like 90% of people survive.
And they didn't know what they were doing either.
Yeah, so
Right.
it's like, do I want to spend
Right.
however much money it was for like a 15% chance? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now people are almost guaranteed to go for the cure, even though it's kind of expensive, but it's like they have a 90% chance of surviving.
Right.
So I guess like trying to think of a good question.
So, like reading this, it says that you can't really compare their prices. It said, like when I was reading it here, comparing their prices is not meaningful because consider the difference in the prices of Hodgkin's care now and the price of Hodgkin's cure. Like the price of care has increased, but largely because the standard of care has vastly improved.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what you're just saying. So basically, it's saying like even though the wealthiest people in the world could not purchase a cure back then, is that saying because there really wasn't a cure? Is that kind of what it's
I think
saying?
that's what I'm getting, because like they were saying like in 1950s, like the radiation things were like still being developed,
Right.
and were relatively new, and so they weren't very effective. Whereas now, because like I mean now the radiation they have is pretty effective, especially like they said, since this is a kind of disease that is very specific and slow moving where it is, they can target it aggressively.
So then does it make sense to ever compare medical treatments, like the price of medical treatments? Because
especially that much of a gap in time.
Yeah.
I think
like over time, you know,
I feel like it would. I forget which econ class it was, but did you guys take econ 150 and 151?
Probably, but yeah, I did, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, so like there's a formula that like can take inflation rates into account.
Right.
And so I feel like I'm sure somewhere, maybe we'll learn about later. I feel like somewhere I'm sure there's a formula that takes into effect like how much the price of care and just overall like quality of care has changed, and then you can compare the two. But until you take that into effect, you just can't compare them very effectively. Because I mean, going to the doctor now costs more than it used to.
Right.
But I mean, that's because everything has cost more than it used to. I mean, doctors also go to medical school back then on like how much we pay at BYU Idaho. Now doctors have to go into like $250,000 in debt to become educated.
Cool. Well, that seems to make sense to me.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I guess just like the crazy thing is to me is that because like you learn theoretically that like a price could become so high that no one would buy it, but you would think with like a disease that there'd always be demand for it no matter how expensive it was. But I guess we've kind of learned on that last model, whatever the model was called, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like once medical care becomes so expensive and you don't have a very high chance of surviving that you just stop paying for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess that'd be kind of the same thing. It's like back in the 1950s, it's like they may have had the cure, but if it was so expensive in the time and you had such a slim chance of surviving, maybe it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll post the link to our meeting again.
Okay.
And do you want to schedule a time to meet next week?
Do you want to do Thursday morning again?
Yeah.
Yeah, next week, Thursday morning will be fine for me, but the following week, Thursday on the 15th, is there any way we could meet either Wednesday or Tuesday morning that week? I will be flying out. My son's wrestling, a college wrestler, so I get to finally go watching. So I'm flying out that morning to California to go watching. And so I was hoping that maybe we could be done. I could be done with most of my homework that week by Wednesday, other than my fun discussion boards. So, is there a way we could meet Tuesday on the 13th or 14th? Would that work for you that week?
Tuesday would probably be better for me because Wednesday I have class. But
okay.
Let me see how many. So that would be week 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We've got one chapter to read that week. Yeah, Tuesday's fine with me. It's just when we have the two that I'm like.
Yeah.
Right. So Tuesday, do we want to do 8 or 9? I can do 8 or 9. It doesn't matter to me.
Honestly, I think 8 would almost be better because it just gives me more time to do homework after. Because I have to go to work at 12. So.
Okay. So if we're good on the 13th at 8 a.m. would that work, you guys? Okay. Thank you.
And then this next Thursday, do we want to do 8 or 9?
I don't care. I can go to 8 or 9. 8's fine for me if it's not too hard.
Okay, let's do 8 then. I can't guarantee I won't have a screaming. Yeah.
That's okay.
But
okay, so next Thursday at 8 and then next Tuesday at 8, right?
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, the 8th and the 13th. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good week.
All right, you too. Bye.